Hello and welcome to episode number 42 of The Reset with me, Sean Tucker. What are you afraid of? What is stopping you from going out and actually getting what it is you want? This week, I had a call that I seeded to myself probably 5-6 weeks ago, and that is to start a Train Hard Men's Club. I saw Jason Khalipa, world's fittest man in 2008. He won the CrossFit Games. Over in the US, he's based, and he started this mission to basically give away fitness for free to dads and to men who are probably have lost touch with being able to get through hard stuff, being able to do it in a way that's shoulder to shoulder. So training with each other, doing things hard, and going to have coffee and chats after. All right, so a 45-minute workout followed by a coffee and chats. And I saw that and I was so impacted because it's so easy. It's so simple. Like, I have some fitness equipment. Why can't I go ahead and do that? Why can't I open my own Train Hard Men's Club? Because what I realized is he took what he started 4 years ago and made it global. He's got ones in Australia, in America, in South America. He's got it all over the world, right? And this is really cool because when I seen that, I'm like, I sent it to my friend. I said, there's no reason for me why I can't start one. And I literally got off the call with him this week because one of the prerequisites for arranging the call is anyone can start one, but you have to be consistent. You have to have the ethos and the values that the Train Hard Men's Club have. And I knew that I had it because fitness is free. Everyone has the ability to make themselves fitter. If you have fitness an excuse for you not getting fit because of money, like that to me is just a really, really shitty excuse. Because fitness is free. You can do it anywhere, anytime. So this idea of getting together, pushing each other through a workout, doing it shoulder to shoulder, and just absolutely training hard, right? Get through those 45 minutes and then you go and have coffees and chats afterwards. So anyway, I hopped on the call with Jason, and I knew Jason from a book that he wrote a number of years ago. He wrote AMRAP Mentality, which is as many reps as possible mentality. He was a CrossFit world athlete, right? He's number one in his sport, number one fittest man on earth back in 2008. And one of the things that inspired me about his story was he came second. He placed second in the 2007 CrossFit Games. And he said if he won, he wouldn't be the man who he is today. Because the lessons of placing second, knowing what he needs to work on and knowing what he needs to do in order to win, that's what he did. That's what he focused on. And I was so inspired by his failure because I relate to it. I've failed so many times in my life, but they've always ended up in some form of lesson for me. And we jumped on the Zoom call, and he was straight away inspired, right? He's like so curious. He's just so interesting to talk to. Such an interesting guy. For me, it was like, holy crap, I'm talking to Jason Khalipa and we're in a private Zoom meeting together. Like, technology is awesome, right? Gives you the power and access to do these things. And he's like, what's that symbol? Like, I have a symbol you've probably seen in my other podcasts it's on my left hand of my screen when you're watching the podcast. He's like, what does that mean? And I explained it to him. And, I said, I'm not a personal trainer anymore. I don't do that as my full-time job. But what I do is I help men really change their state so that they can show up better in their life, better as husbands, better as parents and dads fundamentally. So he's like, whoa, breathwork. that's really intriguing. I'm really interested in, what is it exactly? Like, what do you do? Because I know a box breathing. And so I went ahead and explained what it is. And, there's different ways to use breath work as a tool to really change your brainwave state and change your emotional state of your body. And he was interested, like curious and asking me more questions. And he said, man, I've got my Train Hard Men's Club captains. And by the way, your club is starting because I want you to sign up. Like, you're part of it, which is awesome. Now Mulgrave is on there, so that's fantastic. He said, would you come in and give a 7 to 10 minute talk on breathwork and just give some really practical tips on how you can use breathwork to make yourself fitter, faster, and stronger. I said, yeah, man, of course. And I gave him a practical tip. It's exactly what I gave them at 3 a.m. this morning. So long story short, I guess I said yes because I saw what I was inspired, and when we see inspiration and we follow it or we chase it, there are rewards in there. It's just a matter of being ambitious and having the courage to follow through on the promise that you make yourself. Because I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go on the call, but dude, I did it. And I'm so grateful that I did, because I was given an opportunity to speak to 55 other men across the world and talk about what I'm passionate about. And if that doesn't light you up, I don't know what will. I guess something to ask yourself is like, what have you been delaying? What project have you been wanting to start that you've said it's too hard, I'm going to do it later? Or I don't know, there's just too many excuses getting in the way. For me, I'm going to continue to commit. I'm 3 days with no coffee, 3 days with no chocolate, sugar, and those kind of things. Of course, I still have sugar in my diet. I still have carbohydrates, but I'm not going for lollies and snacks that are high in sugar. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm committing myself to. I'm still showing up every single day as best I can. So if you found today's episode helpful and you're ready to start something, 1, I challenge you to start. 2, share it with just one person today. If you make an impact on someone through this episode, my life is complete. And thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's episode.